your hunting brand and how you got started in the clothing business.
Yeah, well, I've obviously been a keen hunter myself for a long time and a keen outdoorsman. And
Are you searching for a factory in Vietnam that produces military clothing and accessories? You found the right channel. Welcome to the Voice of Vietnam Manufacturing. My name is Chris, and I'm a sourcing expert based here in Ho Chi Minh City. I have over 12 years of experience connecting clients with the right factories fast. Today, I would like to introduce you to 𝗁 Australia. Stick around to the end of the video to get their contact information.
All right, so today we're at the Global Sources Trade Show in Ho Chi Minh City, and we're talking with Rob. Rob wears multiple hats, so let's talk about what are the three core products at 𝗁𝗁 30?
Yeah,
𝗁𝗁
30 is the brand. Three core products would be our backpacks, definitely. We're renowned for our quality and durability and innovation in our backpacks. Some of our slings, rifle slings, got a number of different innovative features that set them apart, in a global stage. Then some of our apparel. Our apparel is really unique, very patriotic Australian. We have many would be aware of some of the most deadly collection of snakes in the world, the top 20. You can't go far in Australia without something wanting to bite you, sting you, or eat you. And certainly in the bush, there's lots of snakes. So I developed a snake-proof gaiter that goes around your leg.
Oh, wow.
And that was the first one of its type. And that's been very popular.
What's unique about your factory?
Yeah, 𝗁's very unique in a sense that it's a mixed modelled factory, and that sort of genius is very much Luke's brainchild. And 𝗁 operates daily on a mixed modelled concept where instead of lines of sewers engaged or sort of, I wouldn't say confined, but the conventional model of production is to go by viabilities and MOQs of fabrics and materials. And because 𝗁 and our Foresight company owns our factory, we can choose those jobs we need to take on or not. So we can have our business hat on firmly and refuse a job based on viability, or we can have our, that old school element of being an innovator and creator and a passionate end user, and take on those jobs that might necessarily get squashed or not viable for other factories to make, because we have the ability to mix model our staff. So we generally work in small teams of 6 to 8, and those teams are highly trained. So our sewers and machinists can pivot from making a plate vest one shift in the morning shift to making a jacket in the afternoon. So we can scale up or scale down. We can have the whole factory working on one project, or we can have 2 or 3 projects going at a time. And that enables government agencies that we work with and niche groups within the military of special operations and tactical police units that are inherently smaller and have different spending budgets to enable them to develop unique bits of kit with us and then have that supplied in smaller quantities or specific colorways.
And so what processes and systems do you have in place to uphold the mil spec? And
Yeah, that's a good point. Big military tenders, if in whole armies, we don't really associate ourselves with. We are quite a small factory. We do have large capability, but we specialise in the sub-units at the sort of the company and platoon level, if you like, or the subgroup special operations police. So, for example, the police uniform behind me here in Australia, that's a Victorian, our state police, but our elite unit within that police. So 200-300 members wanting a couple of sets each. That's kind of our specialist. Same with military. Whereas large military is always on a price point, big production. When we specialise in those units that have maybe a bit more congressional kind of spending, perhaps they can up-spec a bit and then need a specific product. So back to the mil-spec question, that's a good question, and what is mil-spec? So we're working to a military specification, and working to specifications is no different to any other factory that will work to a customer specification. Sometimes it's none, sometimes it's unique, sometimes it's very high. I guess that per se, by default, military spec is very high. We have standards on durability, standards on field operation. A garment has to last so long in the field, otherwise we'll have to warranty that as a manufacturer. So whereas a retail consumer can buy something, it can break or whatever, or it can throw away. It's just a consumable item. Ours has a life, a service life. We have to meet that. So usually that is much higher spec in the thread. Everything starts at the thread and the fabric stage, right? So we go back to our raw material supply. That's custom-made fabrics or imported fabrics from the USA, particularly on the US, on the military side of things with the MultiCams. But then we also work with our suppliers in Korea, Taiwan, to custom develop those fabrics that meet our mil-spec standards, and then it's mil-spec production in the factory, making sure every inch on a moly panel, every stitch is where it needs to be, so that the soldier or end user can depend on day one and then day 300 of its service life.
Give us an idea on MOQs for military apparel and backpacks and hats,
Equipment, yeah.
accessories.
So we, as a factory, have a lower MOQ than others. Our MOQ can be small, but typically it's anything from 50 to 200 to 300 pieces based on color.
Oh, super. Okay. And how can people get a hold of you? Through your website? Or?
Yep. So we have Sword Australia or swordaustralia.com. We have distribution in the US as well, and a Kentucky office. But yeah, the best way to contact us is through the website. Okay. And we can progress your inquiry through there. If it's development or design, I handle a lot of those inquiries. And we have 200 to 300 commercial off-the-shelf items that are available in 3 colorways, and often they can be tweaked in the designs as well. It's always tweaks to our equipment that's undertaken.
Thanks for watching to the end. Would you like to have a free copy of my Vietnam sourcing guide? Request a copy by clicking the link in the description below. If this is your first time to the channel, I produce content related to manufacturing in Vietnam. My most popular services are factory tours and factory introductions. In short, I'm a scout for hire. If you would like me to introduce you to Sword Australia or any factory in Vietnam, then let's connect. Check out VietnamFactoryTours.com. Have a great day, and remember, lots of things, where there's a will, there's a way. Welcome to Vietnam.